Hey everyone, it's Shelly with Pastry Shells, and today I'm going to show you how to make these simple sprinkled donut cookies. To start, when you're cutting your cookies out before you bake, I use a circle cutter and then a large frosting tip to cut the center out of it. Now I'm going to outline the inside and outside circle of the donut. Don't worry about making perfect circles for this design because no donut is a perfect circle, and we want to mimic a donut as much as possible. Throughout this whole tutorial, I use a 15 to 20 second consistency frosting, which means that the frosting will settle in that amount of time. So you can either wait for the outline to dry or you can go right ahead and fill the inside in with that same icing. You're going to use your scribe tool then to even everything out, and if it doesn't even out quick enough, then you can use your scribe tool to help it settle in. You can lightly tap it on the counter, or you can add a little frosting if there's some areas that need more. Once everything's all settled, you're going to want this to dry so that it crusts over. If you do not have a heater, I would recommend letting it sit for about an hour. For a heater, you could probably put it under for about 20 minutes. But once it's crusted over, we are going to airbrush it. So using ivory airbrush color, I use AmeriColor here. We're going to use the airbrush around the edges of the donut, and we are going to lightly pull back on the trigger and just spray the outer edge and the inner edge of the donut to kind of give it a cooked look like a donut. Don't worry about any overspray in the center. That's going to be covered up by the quote-unquote frosting of the donut. I let that dry, and then using the same consistency icing and the color I want my frosting to be, I will first do the outline of the inner circle, and then I'm going to just do random squiggles around the outside. I don't want them to look perfect because I want it to look like I dipped a donut in frosting. And then you're going to flood that in. Once again, you can wait for it to dry, or you can go ahead and flood it in before it dries. It's really up to you. And then you're going to use your scribe tool to even it out. I do recommend that your donut background is fairly dry when you do this, so that when you are evening the icing out with your scribe tool, you're not messing up any of the icing underneath. But it's not something you have to do. You just have to be careful using your scribe tool that you don't mess up the icing underneath it if it's not fully dry. Before the icing dries, you're going to make sure you sprinkle it with your favorite sprinkles. These are my favorite sprinkles from Sweeta Polita. She's my favorite sprinkle lady. And then you're just going to let your cookie dry and you will be done. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments and I'd be happy to answer them. You can find all the tools that I've used on my website in the tools link.